Hey everybody, I'm Greg.
And I'm Katie. Welcome to the Meeple Society. Today we are continuing our top 100, starting with 20. But before we get started, as always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content, hit that bell icon if you want notification of any future content.
Or if you'd like to follow us on our social media, hit the link below and it'll take you to all of our links.
There you go. All right, we're in the final 20, finally.
Final 20.
Almost there. I say that because I feel like this has been taking forever, because it has.
No, you making the list is what took forever.
Okay.
I have the wrong list up. There we go. There we go. Now we're ready.
Okay. Well, let's not do repeats here. Okay. My number 20 was 34 last year. I think it rose because I think we've played it this year. Matter of fact, it appeared in another top 10 of ours, both of ours actually. This is all about, it's a pick up and deliver, where you are delivering out on a very long, lonely stretch of road. This is Merchants of the Dark Road.
Oh, okay.
This is an interesting one. We've kind of blinked this out. Maybe that has something to do with why it has risen. This is one where it's just a huge rondel. Your piece is going around in a big circle. You're using dice in order to do those movements. So the dice determine how far you can move and how long the game lasts. Each of the locations on the rondel have a certain power, one of which is to take the wares that you've been picking up in other locations and head down the dark road to other cities to make deliveries. I like the fact that this one you can kind of piggyback on somebody else who's traveling so that you can get your own stuff delivered without having to use your actions to do it. You still get benefits from it, you just don't get the best benefits because you're not the one actually driving the coach per se. It's a really interesting one. A lot of good choices to make, a lot of interesting decisions. So, but yeah, my number 20, Merchants of the Dark Road.
My number 20 is new to this list.
We're still on that Cult of the New thing, huh?
Yeah, there's 3 of them on this one.
I got 2 on this one.
There's 3 on this one and 3 on the next one.
Yeah, I got 4 on the next one.
And then that's all.
Well, I would hope so.
So my number 20 is a new one we've got in. There was a lot of heartache when this one didn't show up yet, but when it finally did, we got it played. Got a lot of played. We played it at Gen Con a couple times even too, before you even got your copy. This is River Valley Glassworks. This is a set collecting made interesting.
Yes.
I guess because you are, on your turn, you're setting out a gem that you have in your pan to be able to get other ones. So you're going to put it in one area that matches, and then you can take gems from either side of where you set it. And then you're going to put those on your board, and you're making sets of the different colors. There's
8 colors.
8 colors.
7 options.
7 options.
Yeah.
I thought there was 6. I thought there was 2 you couldn't get.
If in a 5-player game, there's 9 colors.
Okay.
So there's 2 you can't get.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you are putting those in a row, but as they go up, they're going to be worth more. But you also want to go across because you're going to score however many you got across. It's just a puzzle as to what gems do you want over here versus what gems over here, because these are more points. So you want more common ones over on the other one. On the right side of your board than on the left side of the board. It's just, but you want to make sure the left side of the board.
You're missing
you're making sure you want to make sure you're getting the rows up too, so you're getting more points. It's just a big puzzle of how to score the most points.
Yeah, it's a short game.
Yes, it is.
You only played what? One person has 17 stones?
And you can be sitting there at 6, like, I have 11. It's like going, what?
Yeah.
But, it's an interesting one. This is River Valley Glassworks, mine number 20.
It might show up later on mine.
Oh, I know it will. It'll be in the top 10.
All right, my number 19 was 20 last year. This is part of a series, And this was, well, let me just put it this way, James, this is number 3 in the series. And I say that because I just answered a comment of his where I had mislabeled the 4th part of this series as number 3. I was wrong. I don't know how I missed that in editing, but this is the 3rd one in the Azul series. This is Azul Summer Pavilion. This is definitely my favorite of the Azul series. This one, it has the same basic mechanism as far as drawing your tiles like every Azul does, where you are taking all of one color out of an option pan, and then everything else goes into the center. The colors you didn't choose go into the center. Or you can take all of one color out of the center. This one is a little different though because you're gathering all of the stones you can. It's played in 2 phases, the picking phase and then the placement phase, which makes it a little easier, a little more strategic to me, because now you might be able to get all of those reds you need in order to make a big play on red, rather than just a couple pieces and not be able to get very far. But with this one, you are actually making pavilions, which look like flowers on the board, honestly. But you are one by one putting petals into these flowers or into these pavilions. And then as you complete various options, you surround bonus tokens, bonus icons. And then those bonus icons allow you to do other things. And you actually get to save like 4 extra pieces every round. If you can't use them, you don't have to trash them, unless you try to save more than 4. But I like the fact that you can carry stuff over to create bigger actions next turn.
Yep.
So yeah, my favorite of the Azul series, Summer Pavilion, number 19. This was actually number 20 last year, so it stayed pretty stable.
Yeah, I just looked. Mine were in the 300s of all of the Azuls.
Oh my, okay.
Yep. So my number 19 is new to the list.
Okay.
It was 19 this year. It was not that last year, which is what that means, right? Anyway, this is a space theme, kind of a space themed discovery game.
Okay.
Any thoughts?
No.
You're playing astronomers.
Astronomers?
Astronomers.
Oh, okay.
This is Galileo
Galilei.
Galilei. I keep wanting to call it Galileo. I don't like Queen because of that now. Anyway, I blame Queen. That's what I should say.
There
I
you
blame
go.
Freddie Mercury. Anyway, this is all about you are playing a certain astronomer. Why am I having such trouble saying astronomer?
I don't know.
Anyway, you're playing an astronomer from, I think it's like the 17th
16,
century.
17, yeah, somewhere in there.
17th, when Galileo was an astronomer. There's other ones. Each of you have a certain power you can do.
Yeah.
But you can go out and the way you're playing this is you're going to move your telescope up on its viewfinder, basically, and 1 to 3 spaces. You can get more actions as you upgrade, because you can upgrade this telescope.
Yes.
That's one of your actions. But as you move it up 1 to 3 spaces, you stop, it's like, hey, I'm going to do this action. You do the action, and then when you're cleaning up, you take that action you just used and you move it back to the bottom. And then everything moves back up. So that telescope range is constantly moving. You can go out and you can observe comets by taking a comet off your board and you put it over one of the planets to get points. You can discover a planet, I think it is, something like that. But you're going to get the card, and you're going to get points off the card and powers off the card.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we played it, so I don't
Some
remember
of them
all the
come with
actions.
Inquisitioners on it, where you would take an Inquisitioner and you put it on your board, and then you want to advance that Inquisitioner, because during cleanup, there's an Inquisition phase, and then you add up the negative points that you have, and then you go back on the reputation on like that. I did not play that track. I think I only put one Inquisitioner in there.
feel like-
And when I did it, I made sure I could get him over to the positive points.
Yeah. I feel like
You guys were constantly
is-
putting
well,
Inquisitioners in there.
it's almost instinct not to try to do that track because it can be so negative. But at the same time, you almost have to, because it is points. If you can get them to the positive, you just gotta.
And I did it, and I looked at the score. We've only played this once. We don't own the game. But I looked at the scores, and I lost with 99 points, but the winner only had like 117. So I wasn't that far behind by not using the Inquisitioner's track. Next time we play it, if whenever that is, unless we buy it, or if Bruce wants to come back over and play it again. Wink, wink. Anyway, anyway, I have to try this track out, see how it is, because I know I'm all about, I don't want to lose points on the reputation track, because those are big points at the end of the game. But then I'm always about
It's a hard
quick
track.
response to get
Yeah.
up tracks as fast as I can, and then when I have to go back, I just hate doing that.
Yeah.
But anyway, though, there's other tracks in the game,
Yes.
the schools basically that you're going up to do different things. When you get to the top, you get a special power and everything. But it's a really interesting game.
I agree.
And that is my 19, Galileo Galilei.
I suspect this one did not make my list only because we've only gotten the one play of it. And yeah, I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a very interesting game. I think the only reason it didn't make my list is because of the fact we've only gotten the one play of it. So, and I don't remember where I even came in on that.
You were second
Okay.
behind Brandon. Brandon
Okay.
won, you came second.
Okay.
And then Bruce had 100 and I had 99.
Okay. That was a good game. It's a good game. All right. All right. My number 18 was 38 last year. I don't think we've played it this year, but I know it's coming up. So I'm excited. This is all about dice manipulation. This is a dice manipulation game, let's put it that way. All about trying to satisfy two ends of a card to get points. Well, obviously, to get points, that's what you do in every game, right? Pretty much. This is Sentient.
Oh, my God. What?
We first played this one at Gen Con.
Wow.
What?
This is still in your, okay.
I
I
love
don't know
this
where
game.
this came in. I mean,
I
I did
probably-
too, but it's kind of dropped way off for
Probably,
me.
because we haven't gotten to play it lately. Anyway, Sentient is, you're drafting dice throughout the game and using them to fill spots on your board. And actually, no, you're not drafting. Everybody has a specific set of dice. And you are using those dice you're drafting the cards. The dice are laid out on your board in various slots. 5 different slots, and you have 4 card slots, and you're drafting cards to fill those slots. And as you're doing it, the cards that you're drafting may say increase this one by 1 or decrease this one by 1, or it allows you to manipulate the dice to meet certain qualifications, because each spot will eventually dictate these 2 dice need to be equal. These 2 dice need to total 10. These 2 dice this one needs to be greater than that one. So there's various qualifications on the cards that you're drafting, as well as the manipulation icons on the cards that you're drafting. So you're trying to fill these cards into slots that will allow you to manipulate the dice in just the right way to meet the qualifications on those cards. It is a really interesting puzzle. I've always enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to getting to play it. It's coming up very soon in the S's. So
Yeah, it probably, like you said, it slipped down my list a long way because it's like 335.
wow,
Because we have not
we
played
have not
it
gotten a chance
in
to
a
play
long
it.
time, but it's coming
Yeah.
up.
It is like I said, it's a super interesting puzzle. I love it. The pieces are great. The cards are I love the artwork. The artwork is very, I don't even know. I don't want to call it dystopian. It's futuristic. It's all robots and I don't know. I love the color scheme. Anyway, that is my number 18, Sentient.
My number 18 was 12 last year. I think it dropped because I haven't really played it much lately. But it's a hard one sometimes to get to the table. It's a table hog. It was this game was one that I first looked at and I was like going, that's overproduced. Is there a game there?
Oh.
It's also the game I had a chance to get for free. And ended up with Space Station Phoenix.
Long running joke.
But we ended up buying it.
Anyway,
This is Foundations of Rome.
I was going to say, you're starting to ramble again.
Yes, I know. I do that a lot. Foundations of Rome is a acquire-esque type of game where you are, in this one though, you are buying cards that has a plot number on it, and you're going to put your little guy on that plot to reserve that plot for you to build. And then you're taking these plots, you're trying to get them to group together, you're trying to get groups of them together.
Right.
So you can build larger buildings that are going to get you money at the end of the round, going to get you more go up the population track, just all kinds of stuff. The buildings can score off of other buildings depending on what's around it. It's just really cool and really awesome looking once it's built up or as it's being built up.
Very good looking game.
I think I liked it because it had that Acquire-esque type gameplay with it. I mean, there's no stocks in this game. But the fact that everybody's player boards are already set up, you just pull it out, put it in front of you, put the game board out there, you're ready to go.
So easy.
And then as you take things off, you don't have to go, okay, that's that. Oh, right on your board where you've taken the place, you can tell how many points you're going to get that round.
Yeah.
It's right there on your board. And it'll tell you where to put the pieces back in when you take them off. Because you can take buildings that you have together. If you have another building that can take up most of that space, you can dismantle those two and put a bigger one out there that's going to get you more points. Yeah. But this one's cool. There's expansions to it. There's some expansions I didn't really like about it, which is the thieving one. What's that one called?
I don't remember, but
where you can say, I'm taking your spot here, have a coin, go away, peasant, and take their spot to build a bigger spot. I'm not bitter about that game
You
at
can
all.
only do it twice. You only have 2 tokens you can give away, but it is 2 points to the other player when you do it.
Yes, it is.
Works nicely if that's just a single building out there in the middle of nowhere. And so I like that expansion because it does give you some flexibility.
Or when you're about ready to build you've got it set up when you're getting ready to build a big building and somebody takes that one out of the middle, you're like, oh, great, now I can't build that building. I'm not, like I said, I'm not bitter about the game. I'm happy about the game. I love the game. This is mine, and that's why it's number 18, Foundations of Rome.
All right, my number 17 has dropped just a little bit this year, and which is surprising. I've actually gotten to play it a lot this year, which may be why it's dropped just a little bit. I was 5 last year. 15, 16,
Did you say because you've got
17.
to play it a little bit more this year, so it's dropped?
Probably, just maybe because I'm getting, it's not as new anymore.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Anyway, this is all about exploring and terraforming an unknown planet. Look on your face.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, this is Planet Unknown. This was kind of a sleeper hit on Kickstarter. I had backed it. I know I told you I backed it, but apparently he forgot. He was not listening that night. This turned into one of our favorite games very, very quickly, though. We played a lot of it. So Planet Unknown, everybody has a planet board, and I like the fact that with the planet boards, it plays 6 players. It plays 6 players simultaneously. Doesn't matter how many people are playing, you're talking an hour, period. And I love that. The planet boards, you get 8 different planet boards. One side of the planet board is all the same. Everybody gets the exact same planet, which makes it very fair, especially in early games. Or, as you get more experienced with the game, you can flip those boards over, and now you have 8 asymmetric planets, completely different. Some of them have holes in the middle of them you can't cover up. Others are literally divided in half, and no terraforming can cross that line. Just all sorts of really unique planet types and rules associated with each one. In addition to that, you have all of your corporation boards. You get 8 corporation boards in the deluxe version. Again, one side of it is all symmetric. Everybody's the exact same board. You flip those boards over, and now everybody has a different ability as their corporation. One of the tracks wander around. Some of them get different powers as you climb certain tracks. Some of them climb at different rates. Some of them give you more rovers than another might, so that you can get more rovers out on your planet. The rovers pick up different asteroids or life pods throughout the game to get you points. Meteorites, thank you. I knew asteroids wasn't the right word.
You always say asteroids.
I do. Meteorites. At its heart, it is a tile placement polyomino game. And this is the gimmick to the game, is that polyomino placement, or not even the placement, but the choosing. The game comes with this gorgeous Lazy Susan that sits in the middle of the table with 6 different quadrants on it. And each player has access to 1 quadrant per turn. And this is how it plays simultaneously. Whoever's turn it is picks the quadrant they want, picks the tile they want. moves the whole Lazy Susan, so that is pointing at them, chooses the one. They only get 2 options out of each quadrant, so there's a total of 12 different types of tiles. You pick the one you want, and now everybody else around the table has to pick from the quadrant in front of them one of those 2 choices to put on their board. Some of them have meteorites on them, some don't. Meteorites can be good because they are scoring. On the other hand, they also block scoring. So early on, they're great. Later in the game, not so much. I don't know, I just love this one. It's a great polyomino game. It plays so quick. It is one of the few 6-player games I can get out and play in an hour quickly. And actually has some strategy behind it. So anyway, that is my number 17, Planet Unknown.
My number 17, since we're already in space, we might as well stay in space.
All right.
We are exploring the universe.
Exploring the universe.
And finding new technologies, new planets to gain resources from, and building your fleet to have epic battles. This is Eclipse, Dawn of a New Galaxy.
Thank you. Good Lord.
This is the first Eclipse. We have not played the second Eclipse. I'm scared to play the second Eclipse because I think I'll like it more, and then I have to get rid of all of my other Eclipse stuff, which we have everything for.
We have upgrades for and
But this is all about you are an alien race. You are searching, exploring the open galaxy for planets, hoping you don't find the old one aliens that you have to battle to get to it. You are trying to gain control of areas so you can gain resources each round from that. Yeah. But all the while, you're also building your fleets up to protect your areas, so when your opponents come in, they have to battle you if they want that area. You also can research and get new technologies to help you out with other things in the game and other ships, and upgrading your ships, because each ship has a spot on top of your board, and you upgrade a certain type of ship. So now all the ships of that type have all that on there. So you're upgrading their guns, you're upgrading their warp core or whatever it's called, and that controls everything else, putting shields on them and everything. It's just a lot of fun. Yeah. This has been dubbed as Twilight Imperium's little brother.
Yeah. I see the similarities.
There's a little bit of similarities.
It just plays much faster and much more.
Yeah, if you want a game kind of like it,
same general concepts.
Eclipse is a good game to go with if you don't want to get into all the politics and everything else.
Or the 12-hour game.
Or the 12-hour game that's in Terraforming Mars. No, in Twilight Imperium. But anyway, that is my number 17, Eclipse: New Dawn of the Galaxy.
My number 16 was number 7 last year. And we've actually gotten a play of it this year, so I'm not sure why it went down, other than the fact
you're getting tired of it.
We've gotten so many good games played this year. That would be my only guess, because there are a few new ones above it now. This is a cooperative game based on a book series by Brandon Sanderson.
Oh.
This is The Reckoners. I have loved this game since the first day we demoed it. It was just such a neat concept. With The Reckoners, now it is a cooperative game. With The Reckoners, you have a number of city locations out on the table based on your player count. Each player is playing one of the Reckoners, and you are one by one trying to save the city and take out the epics that are attacking the city. Each round, the epics do more damage. They may put up some barricades. They may injure the population. They may make Steelheart stronger, which ultimately is the goal, is to fight and defeat Steelheart. It is just such a neat dice chucker. There is, I don't want to say there's dice manipulation in this. There's really no manipulation in it, but it is a Yahtzee-style dice roll. Everybody starts with 6 dice. You can lose them throughout the game, but you can buy them back. But you can lose them. You can gain more dice through picking up extra equipment cards. And even once you do it, the party as a whole is buying these equipment cards. You have to decide who best fits that card.
Yeah.
Who needs this color dice in their pool? Who needs the ability to go through barricades you know, things like that. So it's a neat conversation game.
Yeah.
Because it's not a matter of, hey, I'm going to take my turn and this is everything I'm doing. It's a conversation of, okay, you've got these actions available to you this time. Why don't you start over here? And then I'll go ahead and take care of this. You can move over here and finish it off. And you can team up.
Yeah, and the fact one person doesn't have to take all their actions at once. You kind of like, okay, now you go and do that, and then I'll come over and do this. And
as you're doing your actions, you're just removing your dice from the pool and putting them up into your finish spot. And that shows that action's been done. I just love the way this game plays out.
Yeah, this is a great game to play with new players
that's
never played it, because you tell them, it's like, guys, this is not an easy game. This is a really tough game. And they get through their first round.
Easy.
It's like, I thought you said this was hard. Look at that. We took out 3 of them. It's great. It's like, oh, now it's their turn. And they're like, say what?
We have
It's
that
like,
happen.
yeah. And you start putting out more episodes. Like, wait a minute, what? And
Yeah.
then they go, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, it has always, we've never failed to have a good game of this. Whether we've won or lost, it's always been a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, that is my number 16. This was number 7 last year, so it did drop a little bit. But that is the Reckoners.
Hey, my number 16 was 235 last year.
It jumped quite a bit.
It jumped because we got a play of it or two. This is one that we've actually had a request to do a video rules teach and playthrough of.
Oh.
And we just haven't gotten to it yet. Sorry, David, but this is all about bringing back the world after it was completely destroyed.
Bringing back the world.
This is Revive.
Oh, okay.
It happens 5,000 years into the future. The world is an ice planet basically now.
Okay.
And there are survival tribemen, and basically you're trying to get out there and find them for one. And you're turning over tiles that are going to allow you to do things. And you have a board that has this weird looking kind of labyrinth, almost is what it looks like.
Yeah, it really does, like a cave system almost.
And then you have another board where you're going to put cards, and everybody has a...
Well, it's all part of the same board, but yeah.
Yeah. And you're going to place cards out into certain areas that are going to allow you to do things. So if you put it at the top, you're going to do whatever the top of the card is, because you're going to slide it in the slot. And then if that area gives you a bonus to do something at, you get to do that too. And it's like either move these little pegs around the labyrinth, is what I'm going to call it. It's supposed to be your engine. And you're going to pick up bonuses or extra things as you're going around.
Yeah.
Or you, like I said, you can go out and move your people from one area to another to discover things.
Different tiles, yeah.
Our first play of it was at the retreat one year.
Right.
And I really didn't catch on to it that well, although I think I won the game.
I don't remember.
But it does kind of have that engine building mechanism to it that I really enjoy. So... But the first game, I didn't think I explored it as much.
No, I think that first game was very...
The last game we played, it caught on. I understood it a lot better, and I did even better at the game. Yeah. But I really like this. This is one we need to get back to the table, and like I said, we need to get played a little bit more so we can do that playthrough for David.
I think this would make a good playthrough. I think, I agree.
So that is my number 16, Revive.
My number 15 was 36 last year. I'm not sure why, because I know we haven't played it this year. But this one has always sat in the back of my mind as one of my favorites. It is probably my favorite 2-player only game. We've tried to film videos of this one multiple times. The spirits that be will not let it happen.
Yep.
Maybe one day we will actually get a video filmed of this one. I don't know. But this is Spirits of the Wild. This was, again, it's one of those little sleeper hits. This was put out by Meeple years ago. I found it on a fluke when I was shopping in Target with my brother out in California, and picked it up because it was just a simple 2-player game. It looked interesting, and that was back when we were picking up 2-player games quite a bit. In fact, we've even picked up a copy and we found it at a yard sale for Justin and Jackie because they really enjoyed the game. But you cannot find this anymore unless you find it secondhand, because Meeple has never reprinted it, which is a shame because it seems to be very popular. But Spirits of the Wild, everybody has their little spirit board, and you are drafting stones out of a central board. Everything is done off of card play, actually. Everybody has a certain deck of cards, and you are playing the cards out one by one until you get to that card that lets you pull everything back. And you can play that card at any point, but cards will let you pull stones out of the bag and put them into the bowl. They will let you pick stones out of the bowl and put onto your board. There's all sorts of different things that it does, but it may let you take something off of your board or out of the bowl and put it back in the bag. The reason for doing that is, one, you might want certain colors. But two, there are some clear stones in the bag that when so many of them come out, whether it be on somebody's board or in the bowl, that's it, game's over. It ends immediately. You want to keep those clear stones under control. On your board, there are a number of different spirit animals, and those spirit animals want specific things. So, like, for instance, one may want 2 of one color and 3 of a different color in stones. One may want 1 of each color. One may want 5 of all one color. There's all different scenarios on the board for each animal. The clear stones benefit you because if you draft one and put it onto your board, one, it's permanent. You can't put it back in the bag now. It locks out that area. You can no longer touch that area, but it doubles whatever your score is in that area. So you want those clear stones, but at the same time, you don't want very many of them. So I love this game. Like I said, it has always been one of my favorites. Yeah, Spirits of the Wild, my number 15. Is that where we're at now? Yes. Yeah, I think so. 15, Spirits of the Wild.
My number 15 is new to the list because we had never played it.
That's usually what that means.
We got it played last year.
Okay.
After Cabin Con 2024. Okay. We played this at Jeff's house.
Okay.
This is another space game.
Oh, we only played one space game there.
Yes. And we've only played this game one time, though. But I so enjoyed it. I knew I'd enjoy it just if we could ever get to the table. Finally got to the table, and I absolutely enjoyed this game. This is Star Trek Ascendancy. I know this one just had a big Kickstarter where you could just go all in and get everything ever that's ever been made Star Trek Ascendancy. We already had that except for all the newest stuff and the cool looking storage solution for it. Yes, but this is all about exploring out. Yeah, it's the Star Trek theme. Although I didn't really feel the Star Trek theme in it. But I'm sure Jeff did. Jeff is such a big Trekkie.
You're not a big Trekkie.
I'm not a big Trekkie. But anyway, I really like this game because you are starting in one sector and you are putting out shipping lanes, right? No, they're not shipping lanes. They're
space lanes, yeah.
Space lanes to go and connect other things. And you're trying to get enough nodes to get an ascendancy. And I think it's 5 ascendancy.
Something like that.
You win the game with. But while you're doing it, you're running into the other players possibly, and you're going to end up warring over certain areas so you can take control of that area to start getting those nodes as resources. And when we played it, though, none of us were really into battling as much. I think we built up our forces early enough that we just kind of moved forward and then was like, no, you have way too many ships. I'm not going to go in there for you. But I think I
threw the first punch.
That's what I said. I think you and Jeff had one confrontation. And I just sat back there just building my stuff
you ended up winning.
And, well, we tied.
Oh.
But I won because whatever the tiebreaker was. I don't remember what the tiebreaker was, though. But this is just a lot of fun. It's such a big, epic game that spreads out. He had a huge game table, and we took almost every ounce of that
We could not play it on this table. We would have to play it in the studio.
You almost need like a 4x8 sheet of plywood or something, or bigger to play this game. It can sprawl out so big. And now we have, like I said, we will have everything. We have everything up until this last Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But it's such a really fun game. I'm really looking to get this back out. I just have to build a bigger table. So that is my number 15, a Star Trek Ascendancy.
Okay, good one. My number 14 is a crossover from this very list. I don't have a pen, so I did not write down what it was on yours. It is new to the list. This is a new game this year. This is River Valley Glassworks.
I figured this would be lower for you.
Lower?
Well,
higher.
Higher, I guess.
Higher?
Yeah.
Okay, no. This is 14. As you said, River Valley Glassworks is an interesting set collection. You are picking stones out of the river to put onto your board, your player board, based on the color. You're picking them out of the river based on the shape of the stone. There's 5 different shapes. And then you are putting them on your board based on the color. And you're trying to get as many... You're trying to build up the columns in order to score those, but you're also trying to fill out your rows. So it's an interesting puzzle as to, do you go for the end scoring with the rows, or do you try to get your columns done? Other way around, rows, columns. Anyway, I adore this game. The stones are gorgeous. The artwork is beautiful. It's just a fun, easy game. It's not complex. It's easy to understand. It's easy to teach. But yet I feel like it takes several plays to really build up a good strategy, because it takes those few plays to figure out, okay, that didn't work. Well, let me try this instead. But yeah, my number 14, River Valley Glassworks.
Yeah, this one always reminded me of my childhood.
Oh.
Because I lived
Picking
by
up river glass.
Well, no, I lived by a creek. I
Yeah.
grew up by a creek, and along that creek there was a glass factory there, and it
that's
blew up.
right. I forgot about that.
And glass just fell in the creek. But that was many, many, many years before I was born. But as kids, we always would go down there and pick up melted bottles or just cool looking pieces of glass and bring them home. My dad would get mad at us. Why are we bringing trash home? But we just thought it was really cool, and we'd keep them for a while. But I don't ever remember what we ever did with it, though. But it was a lot of fun. And like I said, this game kind of reminds me of
I could see that.
part of my life.
All right.
Okay, that was what, 14?
That was 14.
Okay, my number 14 was 20 last year. It was your 71. This is part of our Sunday plays, monthly plays with our son and his wife.
Oh, okay.
This is a big race game. This is Heat Pedal to the Metal.
Good one.
We are in the second...
Third.
No, we're into the I should say the first expansion,
Okay.
Heavy Rain. We just got started in that. It's the third season. It's like 1964, 65, something like that. I don't remember. All I know is before I was born. Anyway, but this is all about Formula One back in the day, and you have a set of hands. Yes, you have a set of hands. You have your deck that you are drawing from that has numbers that tells you how far your car is going to go. And what determines that is what gear you're in. So if you're only in second gear, you can only play 2 cards. You can shift up on that to play 3. If you shift up more than 2, you're going to take heat, and it's going to take it out of your engine and put it into your deck. And basically it just clogs up your deck until you can do something to cool your engine off to get it out so your engine runs more
Smoothly.
More what?
More efficiently.
More efficiently. Yeah, there you go. Though, but this one's been a lot of fun. I mean, we had one game where I won the game, but yet I died.
You could. Okay, that was a house rule.
I wanted.
But
I
it was
know.
hysterical.
I wanted to make sure I was going to get across the finish line first, and I ended up going past
by like 22
points, 22 spaces
through
past through a corner, and was way over. Didn't have the heat to burn, so.
Nobody has that.
Justin made up the rule. If you spin out that badly, you die.
I think he said if you spin out more than 10 over, which again, nobody has 10 heat to give, then you blow up.
Yeah, then the car blows up. But this has been a lot of fun playing.
We have, yeah.
It's great to play like a sporting game with her, because you don't really like most sporting games, and with Jackie. Well, Jackie is into sports. She played soccer. She gets into fantasy football and everything. So anyway. But this is Heat Pedal to the Metal, my number 14. See, that's why I keep it.
Okay. My number 13 was 32 last year. I know I've gotten to play it this year a couple times. I've actually talked about it several times, and maybe that's why it has risen a little bit for me. This is by far the easiest deck building game that we own. This takes us both back to our childhoods.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least our teenage years. This is summer camp. I absolutely adore this game, and I think we bought this one. It was a Target release, and I've never seen it anywhere but Target or secondhand. But we bought this one years ago because of the theme. We were both camp counselors when we were teenagers. Our boys were both camp counselors when they were teenagers. Getting this one just seemed natural. Standard deck building game. You start with a certain hand of cards that gives you energy, which allows you to buy more cards, or it gives you movement, which allows you to go up the path on 3 different paths to get to the finish line, which gives you merit badges. Throughout the game, you're spending your energy to get more cards, which will hopefully progress you up those paths even farther. It's just such a neat game, and so every card brings back memories. Super easy to teach, super fast to play. Just a fantastic game. But yeah, anyway, my number 13, Summer Camp.
Cool. Okay, so my number 13 was 24 last year. I'm not sure why it went up because I don't recall playing it this year. It may have been early in the year, but I feel like we've been playing a different one. This is one of our cooperative Sunday games. This is Sleeping Gods.
Oh, okay.
We have all the expansions to it now, plus Distance Guys now, so maybe that's it. I'm really excited to get into those.
Yes.
But this is an open world where you are going around visiting islands and you're getting keywords and submissions, and then you got to go find where this place is at, and there's this huge map that you're discovering. You're running into monsters, running into other natives and stuff that you're going to have to interact with or battle. You're going through storms where you're going to have to get through it. But the whole thing is, on your turn, you're going to move the guy around on the ship to do different actions. Sometimes that action's damaged and you can't even use it, so you got to go to another place of the ship to repair that part of the ship so we can use that. There's places where you're going to get more cards that you can play. There's areas where you're going to land our ship to get on there, and then we run into monsters. And now we've got to battle these monsters, and it's just really weird because they come out and they sit side by side and they're in a grid, and you're doing damage in a row or an L or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just really cool how it's played. Like I said, we have all the expansions to it now. We even have the 2-player version of it that we haven't gotten to the table yet.
No, it's down there somewhere. It's coming up, though.
Yep.
We're in the S's.
Yeah, that is number 13, Sleeping Gods.
Okay, good one. All right, my number 12 is a crossover. It's new to the list, was your 77. This is a fairly new one we've gotten, and we have played the heck out of it. We've taught it to a lot of people. We even did a playthrough of it recently. This is Bear Mountain Camping Adventure. Bear Mountain is another deck builder where you're building your deck with various activities that you would do on a camping trip. You are watching the sunset, you are making s'mores, you are building a campfire, you are going hiking or kayaking or rock climbing or whatever. And each of those cards have different icons on the bottom of them that give you various resources. And those resources are used in order to, 1, buy more cards to build your deck with, but 2, to advance through the various campsites. I enjoy the puzzle of this one, making sure you get what you need, but at the same time, it's kind of a press your luck. I really want that card that's out there, but do I risk letting somebody else beat me to the next campsite? Our version came with a flip side where now instead of racing to Bear Mountain in order to be the first there to win, you are trying to race to the various waterfalls. And the first person to hit 3 of the 5 waterfalls wins the game. I don't know. I've just always enjoyed this one. It's a deck builder combined with a race. There is really no point involved.
Yeah, and you really got to control your deck building.
Yes, that's the big key.
You just really got to keep an eye on how you're building that deck. Yeah, and you don't want big decks because you want to be able to go through those cards because, like I said, you need that one card, the off-road card, to be able to go to Bear Mountain. Yeah. And you just got to kind of time it right just to get that card out of there, and you don't want a big stack of cards.
And I think, and I haven't won this game. Well, no, I take that back. I won the very first game. After you figured it out, I haven't won one yet since. You're dual deck building. And you, like you said, you have to have that one card in order to win the game. You have to have that off-road card or you can't get to Bear Mountain. But if you buy that card too early, it just clogs down your hand. It doesn't do anything other than access Bear Mountain. But at the same time, if you wait too long, you're not getting there because you can't go off-road. And then there's a neat tension there. Yeah, with that card.
Because somebody could have 2 cards, one in each of their deck, and more of them come up. They could pay and just pay the granola bar and just wipe it off the board, and then it doesn't come back.
No,
it's gone.
So how long do you wait to get that
Yeah.
to get that card into your hand. And
It's
then
kind of
there's-
that push your luck kind
Yes.
of aspect of the game there.
And then there's bears. Some of the campsites have the potential of bears,
Which
and
push you back.
if you aren't prepared for the bear, if you don't have some way to combat it, then or to scare it off, then you get pushed back an entire campsite and you lose all of the resources you just paid. So yeah, I don't know. I enjoy this one. It's been a fun one to play so far. So anyway, that is my number 12. 12, Bear Mountain Camping Adventure.
My number 12 brings us to the world of fantasy,
Okay.
but to also a thing that I really like,
Okay.
as in trains.
Fantasy Trains. Oh, okay.
This is Iron Dragon.
Okay.
This is an old Mayfair game. This is a Cranrail game, which I really love.
You do.
And glad that the new one has just left Kickstarter like a few months ago. But this is all about building your rails with the money you have as far as you can, and also making deliveries. This is basically a pickup and delivery game where you actually have to build the routes as you go. So you have cards that have jobs on it, and you're trying to get from one area to the next, but sometimes you have to build your rails there. What's really cool about this that makes it different from Empire Express or Empire Builders or any of the other Crown Rails is that it has an underground, and there's like 3 different areas on the map that you can go down into this cave, which makes it shortcuts to get out to another part of the map, because this map is really big.
Yeah.
But the bad thing is, if you stay down there on your turn,
Pay the troll.
you got to pay the troll. But there are ways that you can become friends with the troll where you don't have to pay the troll anymore.
It's never worked for
But
me.
just getting it through there and getting all those connected down there, so now you can just take shortcuts to anywhere on the board, helps a whole lot, and lets you, usually you can win the game if you can get all those routes built down there. I use it a lot. You don't usually use it as much though, but this is like any other Cranrail game. You can also use somebody else's rail. You just have to pay them to use it though.
Yep.
But at the end of the game, whoever has made the most money
Yeah,
wins.
pretty much. Yeah, that's a good one.
I like this one. This is one of my favorite Cranrail games. So this is Iron Dragon, my number 12. This was what? This was 19 last year.
All right,
So
stayed
it's
pretty,
moved up.
pretty consistent. My number 11 was 9 last year. I have not gotten a chance to play it. I've come this close to playing it twice now, at the last 2 ladies' nights, but I've not actually gotten it. I have not been part of the tables. This is all about building a zoo. This is Ark Nova.
Oh,
Ark Nova is it's not a deck builder. It is more of a tableau builder with some hexagon polyomino shapes to boot. You are building your zoo out of polyomino shapes made out of hexagons. Anyway, with this one, you are going through, there's a deck of cards. It's a huge deck, and this is something a lot of people see problems with, I guess. But I've never had an issue with it.
yeah, the decks I never had. It's just
No.
the scoring is what I had issues with.
Right. Well, there's a huge deck, and if you're looking for specific icons, sometimes it's hard to find. I get that. But you are building out your tableau based on icons and the animals involved. Animals need certain types of habitats, certain sizes of habitats. So you're trying to lay down the animals in order to build out your zoo appropriately. The neat piece with this is the way the card system plays out. You have 5 action cards, which are alongside of the bottom of your board. And as you play an action, it bumps to the beginning of the line and it pushes everything else forward. So my action to put an animal into my zoo may be a 3 right now, which will allow me to do that action at a certain strength. And then as soon as I use it, it bumps back down to 1, and whatever is in 1 and 2 both slide forward. Every action you take is based on the strength of where it is. And I like that
Yes.
card play action, that card play system. Meanwhile, you're going up various tracks on the board. The scoring tracks, like you said, are a little wonky. You start at 2 opposite ends, and the game ends when your 2 pieces cross. So it is a very strong possibility you could end up with negative scores in this if you don't win the game. But throughout the game, those various tracks that you're going up and the various scoring icons you're passing allow you to upgrade some of your cards. And you can flip your cards over, and now the actions get even better. You never get to update all of them.
No, because
I think it's impossible. I
yeah.
think there's only 4 options.
Yeah.
And if you don't take one of those options, because one of them is an either
Yeah,
or option.
there's a couple that are either ors.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed the puzzle of this one. That is my number 11, Arc Nova.
Yep. I think it would be higher on my list
If it wasn't the scoring.
If that scoring. I just don't like that scoring.
I'm going to have to look up, because like I said, when we talked about it on yours, I swear I remember somebody saying on BGG that they've given an alternate scoring pattern to it. And I'm going to have to look it up on BGG and see if it is. And we'll play
I think
it that
that's
way
why
and
it
see if
stays
it's any
low for
different.
me, because you do all that work and then you end up with a negative score or a score of 1. I played the game for 3 hours and I got a score of 1. Yay! All right.
Anyway.
Okay. So that was Arc Nova. You're number 11.
Yes.
Okay. My number 11 is a crossover with you. Yours was at 68. This was at 7 last year.
Okay. So pretty close still.
This is all about what is the Waterworld.
All about Waterworld?
This is the movie Waterworld in a board game.
Oh, okay.
This is Flotilla.
I was going to say, I had to stop thinking about that for a
This
minute.
is all about working your skiffs, I think they called it, out, getting them out and diving down for resources, getting the resources, I think, build up enough and your cards build up, because you can use stuff to buy new cards, and they come in on the seaside, or whatever that called is.
Seaside.
Yeah.
Seaside, Skyside.
Okay, anyway, though, but it comes on that side, so you're using cards because they're two-sided cards, and you're using those to play cards, to do different things, getting different resources up, and getting tiles put out of the resource you are. And when you finally decide you want to go sky side, you're going to get back, you're going to unload, you're going to sell your skiffs, you're going to have whatever resources you wanted to keep.
Whatever resources you've managed to save, yeah.
So you're trying to build that up too, and then you're going to take all your tiles out and you're going to flip them over, and those are going to start building the flotilla on top. So I try and take it where I'm usually building almost the same thing most of the time. So when I turn it over, I'm building a big city of that color, and I usually make sure I have enough of that. But yeah, this has always been really fun to play.
This has been an interesting puzzle, yeah.
We have taught this to a couple other people to the point where one of them actually picked it up. I'm not sure if Winston picked it up or not. But
I don't know.
But I know Matt picked it up that year.
Yeah.
At Dice Star West, because we talked about it, and then we finally played it at the retreat.
Yeah, he made us play it with him because we'd talked him into buying it.
Yeah.
So
But he got a great price for that at the retreat.
He absolutely did.
I think he bought it for like $20.
Yeah. I think the only reason this doesn't get to the table more is it's 3-player. It doesn't play well at 2
But
at
we
all.
have, Journey likes to play this game.
Journey loves this game, yes.
But we just haven't gotten it played because we have it's an F, and we're into the S's of our other series we're doing. So.
Yep. It's a good one, though.
Yep.
It's a long one, but it's a good one.
Oh, yeah. But I have a whole lot of fun because, like I said, it's a deck builder, and you get better things to do, though. But, that is number 11, Flotilla. It was your 68, my 7 last year. And that's it for this one.
That's it for this one, yeah. All right, well, as always, let us know where these games would fall into your top 100 or your top 10. Yeah.
Until then, we'll see you on the next one.